What's up guys, Tony with HID Express. So a few months ago, we picked up this 2018 GSXR 1000R. So the first thing we had to do was get rid of that odious license plate, Fender, whatever the hell you want to call it. We had to get rid of that. That thing had to go. Now, as most of you know, anytime you get rid of these fenders, your turn signals typically go away as well. So we were left with figuring out, well, what route to take? How are we going to integrate some turn signals in here that look clean without sacrificing performance or quality? There are tons of Fender eliminators like that. I know that Yoshimura makes one. There's another company that makes it. The name escapes off the top of my head. But the challenge with those eliminators, a lot of times the turn signals in there just aren't bright enough. So what we ended up doing was going the same route that we did in our Triumph, on our Triumph Daytona, and that's by adding the Morimoto ModPods. So we added the Morimoto ModPods on this bike, and to be honest with you, and it came out better than we even thought. It looks sick, sleek, and you can see those turn signals from miles away, even in direct sunlight. So this video is just going to kind of give you a higher level view of how to take apart the rear fender or the rear of the bike and how to remove that license plate holder. After removal of those parts, we're going to go over how to wire in the mod pods and how we mounted them. Without further ado, on to the install. So to remove that rear piece where the license plate holder, we're going to have to actually remove the seat here so that we can get access to the bolts for the rear tail. We're gonna start by removing this bolt right here, which is a 3mm Allen. And once you remove this bolt, this trim piece here will pop out with two clips. There's gonna be two clips that hold it in, and this piece comes off as well. So it's a clip here and a clip here. Once both of those are removed, there's two bolts that hold the seat in. There's also a clip right here that you have to disengage. You see that clip right there? You don't just want to pull this out. You gotta want to pull it down and pull it out. That's how it looks. With that removed, you can now go ahead and remove this bolt here so that we can remove the seat. It's a 5mm Allen key. Simply pull up on the seat and it'll slide right out. Unlock this lock right here and the seat comes right up. Now that we have the seat up, you can see that we're gonna need, this screw will have to be removed on both sides. These pins will have to be removed. These screws here will have to be removed as well to remove this entire piece here. to remove this tail section, there's one more pin that's holding it in. And if you look closely right here, this is where that pin is for this side, and the pin is for here. So you're just gonna gently pull this out, and then wiggle it around a little bit, and then slide it up. So if you take a look at that section, you can see that it slides. You can see all of the sliders right here, right? These are the grooves here when it locks in into the front, I believe the frame. Obviously that's your two holes. And then here, if you look at the tail light, that's for that rear piece. This piece here clips onto that. So the next step now is to remove this piece. But prior to doing that, you want to go ahead and release this this tie here, so that we can go ahead and let the harness be loose, so that when we remove this and this tail light, we are able to unplug everything. To release this cable tie, you just got to put a sharp object in there. It pushes the pin down, the little release pin down, and it simply unhooks. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove those two 10mm bolts. There are two on each side, so that we can remove this monstrosity off the back of the bike. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove this screw here that's holding this piece on. Now that we got those screws out, there's a screw here. I'm trying to get the camera in there. There's a Phillips screw right there. That one. That needs to come out. And then there's a clip right here that you just simply slide back, and this piece should release, minus the harness. Unclip it, and now of course you're going to have your wire harness. There's going to be 3 wires that are going to this piece here. It's 3 wires, obviously left turn signal, right turn signal, and your license plate bulb. So unplug them. You just simply raise the clip, comes right out. For this little white one, you have to kind of push the clip in. You just slide it right on out. That's it. All right, so for the wires, this is going to be your left turn signal harness, and this one is going to be your right turn signal. Now what we're going to end up doing, since we're not utilizing this piece anymore, is we're going to actually cut off the wires from this, so that we can utilize and make it plug and play on the motorcycle itself. While you're here, this is a good time to change to a LED flasher. This way you don't have quick flashing. So reinstallation will take some finagling. You just basically have to kind of slide it on there. Remember the 2 grooves that I showed you on the actual fender? You gotta slide them on. Ooh, excuse me. You gotta slide it on and kind of make sure that everything lines up. So your bolt holes line up here. These guys, your locks line up here. Everything lines up. All right. And then obviously it's pinned in. And then when you look under here, make sure that this is closed here, this is closed here, and everything looks nice and neat. It's already looking way better. Look at that. So now that we got the fender back in place, it's still not bolted up, but we got it back in place. This is your turn signal wire in here and here. What we're gonna do is, for the turn signals, we're utilizing the Morimoto ModPods. I'm just gonna Velcro it right here, and then run the wires up in here and make sure everything is running the way it should. Now, of course, since this is the rear, we can't have white turn signals in the back. So we're gonna put in this amber cover, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Now, in order to add this amber piece or lens into the ModPod, you're gonna have to take the ModPod apart. So what you're gonna do is simply turn this top half counterclockwise, and you will see that there's a clear lens there and a rubber grommet. Simply remove the clear lens. It will be sticking to the grommet, and place your amber lens right on top. And screw it back together. Now, in some cases, the amber lens will be a little bit bigger than the clear lens was. Like, it's a little bit wider, so you're gonna kind of finagle it in there. And that's your end result. So what we ended up doing, having to get it in there, is we use a towel and just press the lens in there real hard with our finger, just so you didn't scratch it. The power wire for the right turn signal is going to be the green wire. The black and white wire is your ground. And for the left turn signal, the black wire is your power, and the black and white wire is your ground.